Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Kobe Lomax and I am, you guessed it, the CEO of Curly Hair. In today's video, I'm going to be answering a question that I get quite often, and that is, how do you change your hair type? Now, I know that this title was very triggering and that a lot of people are going to be popping off in the comments even though they haven't even watched the video yet, but I think this is a very important video to make because this is a question that people are actually answering. And so if I can give the people who are asking this question some really helpful advice, then I think that would be very helpful for them. So please, I encourage you, watch the video. You will understand exactly where I'm going with this. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So you probably wouldn't even believe it if you saw how many DMs I get from people asking, hey, how do I change my hair type? If you are not familiar with hair types, then I highly recommend you check out my last video where I talked a little bit about it and how you identify what hair type you have. But in general, it's a system where different people's hair have been categorized into different categories, and the idea behind it is to create different reference points so that you can compare your own hair to somebody else's hair. It really just gives you a way where you can be like, hey, that person's hair is like mine, let me try what they do and see if it'll work for me. You get it? And so when people ask me, how do I change my hair type? What they're really asking me is, how do I change the way my hair looks? Now, there are many ways to change how your hair looks. I mean, if you do a twist out, your curls are gonna be a lot more chunky. You're probably gonna have like 3A, 3B curls, maybe even 3C curls, depending on how your twist out came out. If you do finger coils, you might end up with 3B or 3A curls. If you do a braid out, your hair might be wavy and crinkly and it might be like a 2C curl. There are tons of ways to change your hair type, right? To change the way your hair looks. And that was the advice that I normally have been given. Like, you know, try this style if you want to try to achieve a looser curl. Try this style if you want to try to achieve a wavy kind of look. I mean, literally straightening your hair, flexi rods, all of that. It all changes the way your hair looks. So in turn, temporarily changes your hair type. And to that point, this is why I always recommend when you're trying to figure out what hair type you have, you should compare it to someone's hair who's freshly washed with no product in it, because that'll tell you what their curly hair type is in like a natural state. It's just a much better and equal playing field to be able to compare your hair to someone else's. Now, for some longer term, you know, ways to change your hair type or what your hair looks like, you could get a texturizer, you know, but there are pros and cons to that. You know, a pro would be, you know, if you're trying to go from 4B to 3C and you put a texturizer in your hair, you might be able to do that for a longer period than if you were just to try a twist out, you know? However, there are also cons to doing this. If you leave the texturizer in for too long, your hair could become straight, and then like there's literally nothing you can do about it except cut it off and grow it back out. You know, so you could really mess it up. Another one is that your hair is technically not natural anymore because it's chemically processed now. And to that point, chemically processing your hair is going to make your hair weaker. And so if you're trying to grow your hair out, you getting a texturizer might stunt your growth or even slow your growth down because your hair is very weak and it's going to take you, you know, double the care of what you've already been doing just to maintain it. Not even for it to be healthy and flourish, but just to maintain it because you've chemically altered it and now it's damaged. You know, it's damaged to a degree because you chemically altered it in the way you did. And then the other con about getting a texturizer is, let's say you do a texturizer. All the hair that's currently on your head is going to have a different look now, okay? Which was the goal. But when more hair grows out of your head and your hair is always growing, you're going to have to re-get it done again because the hair that's growing out of your head is not texturized. It's going to grow out the way it naturally grows out. So you're going to have to keep getting the texturizer, you know, over and over and over again in order to keep all your hair looking the same. And then you got to also try to make sure you don't get the new texturizer that you're doing on your new hair on the hair that's already texturized. Otherwise, that hair might become straight and it's just a big mess. So there's like pros and cons. You know, pro, I get a looser hair texture. Cons, it's all this extra work, you know? Now, I know a lot of people at this point are going to be like, you should love your hair, you know, that naturally the way it is, which is true. You should love the hair that you naturally have. But if you having a looser curl pattern or having your hair texturized makes you feel better or more happy, then who is anybody to tell you that you shouldn't do it? I think if that's really what you want to do and it really comes from the right place, then I think you 100% should do it. You know, be aware of the pros and all the cons, you know, of doing it and, you know, the maintenance of it and keeping up with it. But if that's really what you want, who's anybody to tell you that you can't? You know, I have friends who love their natural hair, but sometimes they feel, you know, more happy, or they just feel like wearing braids or wearing a weave, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, just because you love what you naturally have doesn't mean that you're obligated to only do that or only wear that 24/7. I know people who are confident in their body, you know, in their body weight and their body size, but they're like, you know, I will be a little bit more happy, or I can move a little better, or I can, you know, I would just feel better if I maybe lost 10 pounds. But they're totally happy with what they have now. But just because you're happy with what you have now doesn't mean that that's just what it has to be, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can love what you naturally have, but also enjoy something else. You know, I personally feel like everybody should be able to do what they want to do that makes them happy, and it's nobody else's business or decision to make. Like, you're not the one, you know, wearing the weave. So it's really none of your business. Like, let people do what they want to do, you know? Now, as I just said, you know, people should be able to do whatever makes them happy. What makes them happy, you know, feel better, feel more confident. But I want you to really assess what's actually making you happy, or what's actually making you confident. And what I mean by this is, let's say you want to go from 4B to 3C, right? You want to make that shift. You want to get a texturizer. You want to change your curl pattern, right? That's fine. But I really want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to do this? Are you trying to get validation from somebody? Are you trying to make yourself a little bit more attractive for somebody you're into because you think that your hair is the reason why they're not into you? Like, really get down to the bottom of why I want to do this, right? Am I doing this for somebody else? Am I doing this because everybody around me has looser curls and I'm the only one with tighter curls and I feel like I'm ugly because, you know, like, why do you really want to get it done? Or is it just because you're like, hey, I love my hair, I'm cool with my hair right now, but my boy has looser curls and it looks really good on him and I think it will look really good on me, and so I'm gonna try it, you know? Like, what's the real reason behind why you want to change your hair type, and especially for a more longer term way, like something like getting a texturizer or anything like that, or really just anything, honestly. You know, if you're doing things that are gonna make you more happy, like, don't do things just to mask what the real problem is. I think you should really take that time to ask yourself, like, why do I want to do this? Like, what's the reason why you would want to change your hair type or change anything about yourself, you know? If you ask yourself this question, like, why do I want to do this? And you really get down to like a root problem that you're maybe trying to cover up or hide by, you know, making these changes to your hair, that's when you can start working on that stuff to, you know, uproot those, whatever it is, limiting beliefs about yourself, that you think you're ugly, that you think your hair is ugly, that you think your hair, like, change your perspective. You can completely change your perspective about what you naturally have, and that will build your confidence in what you actually have. Like, for example, at the high school I went to, it was like super diverse. I have tons of white friends, right, who wish they had hair like us, you know? They do. They're like, oh my God, your hair is so awesome. Like, you know, Dre's hair is so awesome and Trevor's hair is so awesome. I wish my hair could do that. Like, I wish my hair could do that. My hair is just boring. It's just straight. You know, it can't do anything with it except for just cut it, you know, wear different lengths. I can't really do anything with it. Like, yours is just so big and literally. And so the problem isn't your hair. The problem is the way you feel about your hair. You know, if that's how you're feeling, if you're feeling like, oh, my hair is ugly, it's nappy, it's this or whatever, you know, it's people out there that wish they had hair like you, you know? Let's not forget, it's people out there that wish they had hair, period. So you're already on level 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get you up to that level 3, and then you can start making these decisions out of, oh, I just want to try that, or that's just what I want to do, you know? Like, I'm cool with what I got already, but I just want to try something different. My mom is a perfect example. My mom loves rocking her fro. You know, she picks her hair out. She has a beautiful, big old afro. She loves it. But recently, she had just cut her hair really short and got a texturizer because she was like, I just don't feel like dealing with this anymore. You know, I love my hair, you know, the way it is. I just don't feel like dealing with it anymore. I don't feel like having to keep the shape perfect all the time and going to the barber to get it done all the time. And I don't really feel like if I touch my hair, if my hair hits something, like all of a sudden the shape is off and I gotta fix it again. I don't want to deal with all that. You know, she was like, I just want to be able to wet my hair in the morning, shoot some products in there really quick and be on my way, you know? And that was a decision that she made. You know, it wasn't because she didn't love what she naturally had. It was just because she was like, you know, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I want it easier, you know? And that's totally fine. So, like I said, I think you should do whatever you want to do that's going to make you happy. I just wanted to make this video to give you some things to think about before, you know, beating yourself up about your hair texture or, you know, wanting to make these changes and not really knowing where the root of it is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all I want is for you to make the best decision for you. You know, because this question, like, how do I change my hair type? I mean, I could literally use different products and my hair will look different. You know, my hair type will be different. You know what I'm saying? But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I think the root of the problem really was coming from maybe a self-esteem issue. And so I just wanted to give y'all all the tools, all the tricks, all the tips, and just things to think about when you are, you know, thinking about like your confidence, you know, in yourself, you know, and what you naturally have. There's nothing wrong with changing it if that's just what you really want to do, and it's not just a mask or cover up something. You know what I'm saying? And that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as it really supports the channel. And if you're looking forward to more videos like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. For more than behind the scenes stuff, you can follow me on Instagram at Kobe Lomax. And yeah, guys, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for sitting here and spending some time with me. I really hope you like learned something from this video that's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you walk through this world more confidently, guys. Yeah, if I can contribute to that in any way and help you to walk through life more confident, man, that's it for me. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video. We have 22,000 brothers and sisters here. That's literally so insane to me, so crazy. I'm so grateful for every single one of you, and I will see you in my next video.